It came. It's finally here. Oh my gosh. So today I'm going to be unboxing the DJI Mini 4 Pro along with a first flight impression. So the package that I got, it comes with the drone, the RC2 remote, 3 batteries, a charging hub, a shoulder bag, some cables, a manual, and a screwdriver all in this one box. Ooh, okay. So this is the shoulder bag. I like that. This is a lot nicer than my other shoulder bag. I have the DJI Mavic Air, and that shoulder bag was not nearly as nice as this one. Okay, first, here's the remote. Wow. Ooh. Wait, where are the thingies? Oh. So the joysticks, they're not here because they're actually in the back. So you can easily pack it in your bag without having to worry about the joystick sticking out. That's smart. I like that. Look at that. That's nice. I've been watching so many videos on this drone on YouTube. A lot of people are recommending to get this remote just because of how easy it is to set up the drone and get it in the air. This is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. What? Wait a second. They're not lying when they say mini. Like, this is small. So it's got this thing, like a belt that you put around it to protect the propellers, and then this cool lens cap. It's strange because it looks super professional, and then you feel it and it feels like a toy. So you have a total of 12 extra propellers plus the screws, the screwdriver, manual, and your cables. With the whole unboxing, I'm very impressed. I like the look of the drone. I like this remote. This remote is so cool. So I'm going to set up the drone and get it in the air. So by now, I have flown this drone twice, and it's amazing. I'm not just saying that for the video, like, I actually love this drone. There's a lot that I want to talk about here, so I made a list. The footage that you just saw was filmed in 4K at 60 frames per second. At 60 frames per second, you can get some nice slow motion footage, and it looks great on this drone. I also filmed in something called D-Log. It's basically, if you've ever worked with log footage on your camera, it's the same thing. It just compresses the color and makes it super flat so you can bring it out in post. Color grading was super easy. I'm not sure if that really has anything to do with the drone, but the fact that this little thing can capture that beautiful footage is very impressive. I mean, you're buying the drone for the footage, right? Besides the footage, piloting this drone is it's fun. It's a fun little drone. I completely understand the hype around the remote. It is, getting the drone in the air takes probably under a minute. I'm generally taking my time. I'm not rushing to get it in the air. It still takes about under a minute. Literally all you have to do is turn on the remote, turn on the drone, and they connect automatically in like a few seconds, and then you just press take off and it goes. It just goes. A complaint that I've heard is that in bright sunlight, you can't really see the screen because the screen brightness is kind of dark. I filmed during golden hour on the beach, and the screen was fine. I haven't had any problems with that. I did film one more time around like noon. It was pretty bright outside, and I didn't notice anything. Like, it never crossed my mind like, oh yeah, people think the screen is dark. I thought it was fine. Something else that I did not know that this could do, but it can. If you crank this dial, the camera will zoom in. I've noticed that the zoomed in footage is not that high quality. So if you're gonna be recording, just make sure that it's zoomed all the way out to get the best quality from the camera. Another thing is the noise. It's very quiet for a drone. I mean, you can still hear it if you're listening for it, but you have to actually be intentionally listening for it to hear it in the air. My Mavic Air, when I was making my rosemary video, that thing was loud. I feel like everyone there would stop and stare at it because of how loud it is. But this one, I don't think anyone noticed until I brought it down to land. The main thing about the mini series for DJI is the lightweight. This thing is incredibly light. Like it's kind of weird that this is a drone and it's this light. You wouldn't think that it being so light, it would do well in the wind. The beach is windy and it looked like it was struggling. In the footage that I got, you can't even tell that it was windy because there's a gimbal on the drone. The battery life, it says on the box that you're gonna get, I think it's like 30 minutes of battery. That's a lie. From watching other YouTubers, it's like somewhere between 19 to 20 minutes, which is pretty good. How easy it is to change out the batteries. You just push these two little things in, pull out the battery, put the next one in, and you can have it back in the air in, like, again, less than a minute. One last thing I should mention is that to get the best quality footage, it's really better if you control your own settings. The drone has an auto mode where it will automatically correct the shutter speed and ISO based off of the lighting conditions. To get the best quality footage, you don't really want that to happen. I got ND filters from Amazon. If you don't know what an ND filter is, it's basically like sunglasses, but for your camera. The reason you should do the filters and not crank up your aperture is because you can't. It has a fixed aperture of, I think, 1.8, which lets in a lot of light. I think the ND filters along with the remote are a must-have. I'm actually going to be taking this to Europe next week, so you should subscribe so you don't miss those travel videos. I'd say the biggest complaint that I have is this belt. I'm guessing they did this so you don't have to put it in a case. The blades are kind of flimsy, so I always feel like when I'm putting this belt back on, I feel like I'm gonna break a blade. If you don't line up the blades perfectly, you're not gonna get the belt on. So you have to fidget with the blades while you're trying to line up the belt. It's kind of a hassle, but it's not terrible. I'll deal with it if it means I get to fly this thing. So yeah, that's it. Go buy your drone.